For so many golfers, the slicing of the golf ball, a right-handed golfer moving the ball from left to right, for so many golfers that slicing shot is the crux of why they don't feel like they play the best golf, and certainly why they don't enjoy the game the best. Standing on the tee, knowing that when they hit this ball, it's not going to go down the middle, but it's going to go into the trees down the right-hand side. That can be very, very frustrating for a golfer. And like I say, it spoils their enjoyment because they're standing there pretty much knowing what's going to happen to the ball. So if we can make the changes that we need to make to stop you slicing the golf ball, that would be fantastic. And I think for a lot of golfers, maybe they understand how and why they slice the ball. They understand that the club comes from out to in. They understand the club face is going to be open to that path. They understand the ball is going to curve from left to right because of the spin. And they maybe understand how they're trying to change that, how they're trying to drop into a shallower position, how they're trying to release the golf club a little bit more. But for most golfers, you won't be exaggerating those changes enough. And I see that in an awful lot of coaching. Whatever I'm working on with a pupil, if I ask them to do something, they probably do half of it, 25% of it. Some people only move 10% of what they actually need to move. But because they've moved something, they've convinced themselves that they're doing the right thing because they've made a change. It feels awkward. But in a lot of cases, we need to make it feel really awkward. We need to exaggerate that change. So if you're a slicer of the golf ball, chances are you're bringing the club down from outside and hitting across the back of the ball. So a lot of golf coaches like myself would be talking about shallowing the golf club, bringing the golf club more from the inside. And I'll see a golfer who was bringing the club down here, and I'll say shallow it, and they'll bring it down here. You know, they've moved a couple of inches. The ball flight might improve a little bit. It won't improve enough. And then we're talking about, you know, where do we want the club? We want it to be here. We want it to be right down behind us. And often I will exaggerate that feeling for somebody. I'll tell them I want them to drag it down behind them over here, which we kind of know by the look of that, it's too flat. But if I can get you to feel that change, then we're going to be halfway to making it actually stick in your real swing. Because we know there's a difference between the feel and the real. So if you're exaggerating your changes, I want you to feel like you take the club to the top, shallow the shaft massively, feel like it points off behind you this way, then try and attack the ball from the inside, and then to release the club face, we want to try and whip those hands over. And again, exaggerate that change. Try and hit me a hook that finishes down the left-hand side of the driving range. If you could exaggerate that change, you're going to be dropping in very flat, very aggressively with the hands, and try and hit snap hooks. You know, that ball set off down the middle and hooked violently down the left-hand side. But if I can feel that change in my practice session, I can drop in super shallow, I can turn my hands over very aggressively. Maybe exaggerating my corrections or exaggerating my changes is the fastest way to get rid of my golfing slice.